Good morning. So today we're going to learn how to simplify rationals, and basically a rational equation is just, or a rational expression is just when it's just a fraction. And so we've been dealing with dividing binomials into polynomials, and we learned how to use synthetic division to do that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to use factoring to divide polynomials. And so I'm going to start off with the simplest one. Here we have 8n squared divided by 3. So basically what you have here is a monomial divided by a monomial. Well, all you're going to do with this one is you're just going to see, will the 3 divide into the 8? And the answer here is no, it won't. So this one right here, it will not simplify. So it will not, sorry, I'm trying to do this in video at the same time, simplify. So that just means this is as simple as it will get. This is our answer. Okay, so now we're going to move on and look at number 2. So if we look at number 2, we have 63x to the 5th power divided by 49x cubed. Well, in this case, if we still have a monomial divided by a monomial. So we're going to start off by looking at the 63 and the 49, and I'm going to ask myself, what is the greatest common factor between 63 and 49? Well, we know with 63 that 7 times 9 equals 63. And with 49, we know that 7 times 7 equals 49. So what we can do here is we can actually cancel out both of these so that we're now going to have 9 over 7. But now here we have x to the 5th and x cubed. So we're just going to subtract those exponents. So remember, that's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's over 1, 2, 3, and you cancel out the common ones, and we're just left with an x squared. And we're going to put that in the numerator because the x fifth is on top, the s cube is on bottom. And so this will be your solution. Okay, so now we're going to come down to number 3. I tell you what, let's go ahead and work number 4 first because this one's a little easier to work. Now, if you will notice, I have a trinomial on top of a trinomial, and they're both quadratics. So what we're going to do first is we're going to factor these. So you may have to get your signs worksheet or graphic organizer that I gave you, but we know when we have a negative for our third term and a negative for our second term, we're going to have a positive and a negative because a positive times a negative equals a negative. So now we know factors of a squared is only a, and now we're going to look for factors of 10 that has a difference of 3. And that's 5 and 2. Now, because your second sign is negative, the larger number will go behind the negative, which will be 5. Okay, so just remember, 2 times 5 is 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, so now we're going to factor the denominator. Once again, we have a negative, so we're going to use a positive and a negative. And then factors of a squared is just a and a. And then 20, we want factors of 20 that has a difference of 1. Well, that would be 4 and 5 because 4 times 5 is 20 and 5 minus 4 is 1. And because this is a negative, that means the larger number is going to go here. So there we go. Now, we have it factored, so what you can do now is cancel out your common factors, and your answer is going to be, I don't know why my phone keeps getting dark, a plus 2 over a plus 4. That will be our solution here. Okay, so now we're going to come over here to number 5. We're going to come back to 3 in a minute. But number 5, This one we have positives for our third terms and negatives for our second term. Now, I want you to look at these two here. These two are exactly the same. So because they are exactly the same, that means that we can just cancel them out. But our answer isn't 0, it's 1. Because anytime you divide a number by itself, it just equals 1. Okay? And then we are going to come over here to this one. Now, notice the numerator only has two terms. It is a binomial. So obviously I can't factor it into two binomials. So, but what we can do is what we have to do anyway is factor out the GCF. And our GCF factored out here is going to be 8, because 8 will go into 8, and then 8 will go into 72. Now we also have an r squared and an r, and I actually did that little dot there, so don't let that confuse you. So you're going to factor out the lowest power, which is just r. And then we're going to take the 8r squared divided by 8r is just 8, or excuse me, r. And then 72 divided by 8 is 9. Sorry. And then we're going to factor this. So I'm going to set up my two parentheses. My signs are both going to be a negative. I know my signs will be just alike because this is a positive. And also that our second term is negative, so that's how I know they're both going to be negative. So first will be r, and then we need factors of 27 that add to 12, and that would be 9 and 3, because 9 times 3 is 27, and then 9 plus 3. So remember, when your signs are alike, you add 3 and 9. And then what we can do is cancel that out. So our solution is going to be 8r over r minus 3. So what I want you to do is, why don't you practice with number 7 and practice with number 9 and practice with number 11. And then I'll come back and work those 3 on a video again and see if I can figure out why my phone keeps getting dark. Alrighty, try it.